Hey everybody, Doug A798 here. I haven't done a video in a long time. This is my defense video of the DC Extended Universe. This is also my short thoughts on the upcoming Wonder Woman film and the upcoming Justice League film. Before I start this review, in the description box below, there is also reviews of um, there's also a review of the DC Extended Universe on my Super Vader 400 channel, and a third review of the DC Extended Universe's latest installment, Suicide Squad. With that being said, I decided to do this video because I feel the DC Extended Universe gets a lot of unneeded hatred, and as you can see, well, right now I'm focusing only on Wonder Woman and Justice League. I'll worry about all the other stuff and all the other controversies surrounding the DC Extended Universe later, and all the other unassigned DC projects later. Right now I'm focused on Wonder Woman and Justice League. I really want those two films to do good, so they can continue the DC Extended Universe, because one of the reasons I'm also doing this film is because, see, I don't want the DC Extended Universe to end, because while Marvel is more profitable, I think the DC Extended Universe is better than the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love both cinematic universes, but I think DC Extended Universe is better. And one of the main reasons why the DC Extended Universe is better is the DC Extended Universe makes actual comic book based movies. They actually make real superhero comic book based films. Whereas the Marvel Cinematic Universe makes science fiction Power Ranger Power Ranger movies with Marvel characters in them. That's the main reason I like the DC cinematic universe. That's one of the reasons I like the DC cinematic universe better. That's one of the things that's better about the DC cinematic universe. I like both universes, but I think the DC cinematic universe is um is better, and I like having two unique styles of movies. I don't want to go back to the formula. I don't want every superhero doing the formatic style of a Marvel. I like having the comedic the comedic action oriented Marvel based films, and I like having the more darker and grittier and more serious DC films. I don't want just one style. I want both. I want variety. I want variety. So that's why I don't want the DC Extended Universe to stop. So the first film we're going to talk about is Man of Steel. When Man of Steel first came out, I enjoyed it. It was as good as a Superman film was gonna be in 2013. However, I've seen a dozen Superman films, and this was a project that had been in development till hell for so long that when they finally brought it out, I didn't care for it. I also didn't care for it because it wasn't like the Avengers, which this was 2013, just 1 year after the Avengers, and I was, like a lot of people, was heavily dick riding Marvel and the Avengers, and anything that wasn't like it kind of sucked to me. Anything that wasn't like it kind of sucked. After rewatching the film again for my DC cinematic universe, I think it's one of the best. Not I think it's one of the not only one. I think it's one of the best superhero movies ever. Not only one of the best DC extended universe films, but it's one of the best superhero films ever. I loved how this film made Superman. I love how this film, I feel, made Superman more realistic. That's one of the things I loved about the DC. One of the things I loved about the DC cinematic universe is that they actually portray Superman how he would be viewed in a real world. In a real world, he would have a group of people who would like him. Then he also have those people who would fear him and fear what his power can do. And I love how that was represented um, here in the film. I also love how they humanitized the villain Zod. He was trying to destroy. He was trying to destroy Earth. He was trying to destroy Earth, but he was trying to destroy Earth, but he was only doing it to try to save and preserve Krypton. But since his plans would mean the end of Earth's world, Superman had to step in and stop him. And when Superman ruined his plans, even though he was the bad guy, you felt sorry for him and you wanted him to do what he said. He said he has no people in the world, and that's when he made it clear that he was gonna kill. That's when he made it clear that he was gonna kill everyone on Earth. So you hear people talking about all the collateral damage Superman caused that damage because this is also an inexperienced Superman, unlike the Christopher Reeve Superman who trained at the Fortress of Solitude, who trained at the Fortress of Solitude, who trained at the Fortress of Solitude. This Superman, there is no Fortress of Solitude in this film. He barely learned how to use his powers, where he was pretty much a unexperienced, untrained combat warrior facing experienced Kryptonians, and he can't punch him out the city. He can't he couldn't punch him out the city, or he can't lure him away. They said if he lures him away, he's gonna kill all the people in Krypton. He made it clear. So yeah, I don't get what people say there, and it's not like I'm not gonna name a series, but it's not like a certain series where they kill a bunch of people, they kill a bunch of people, and it's never brought up again for a while. It's never brought up again for a while, or never mentioned again, or never mentioned again. No, Superman's the deaths and the collateral damage he's caused. It was addressed in the follow-up film, Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. But like I said, when I first saw this film, I liked it, but I didn't care much for it because it was just another Superman film, and it wasn't like the Avengers, and it wasn't the Superman film I saw. It wasn't the Superman film I wanted. I wanted an anime Smallville like Superman, and this had some of that, except this was like dark. This was like darker. I wanted a Dragon Ball Evolution Smallville style Superman film, and that would have been awesome. But this right here is just as this right here is just as awesome. Yeah. Now for the next film, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Like a lot of people, I was heavily anticipating this film. That was until I saw the reviews for this film, and I'm like, and read and spoiled myself by reading my script, and then I figured after weeks of not also there were a bunch of personal things going on in my life, so I didn't feel like going out to see the film. After several weeks, I figured there had to be a low quality leaked version online somewhere, and this is where I discovered Putlocker, which is one of the websites I go to watch films now, and I watched this film, Civil War and X-Men Apocalypse, and man, Batman v Superman. Talk about being proven wrong. This film, from the opening narration, Bruce Wayne's parents, which shows Bruce Wayne's parents being killed and Bruce Wayne falling into the thing like in Batman, falling into the cave like in Begins. Batman Begins. Batman with the awesome score playing in the background, and the shattering of the necklace to the destruction of to the destruction of to Bruce Wayne watching the awesome fight between Zod and Superman, with Superman running Zod through the building, building and rescuing the Wayne employee, and Batman and Bruce Wayne looking on as Superman setting up the final battle between the two at the end of the film, all the way to the final confrontation between those two and the Trinity battle against Doomsday. Like I said, man, what a phenomenal film. The only problem I had with it was there were various plot holes and inconsistencies, but the actors, the story, and the action carried the film. There was a then of course there was the Ultimate Edition version, which was even better. This was better than the theatrical version. It actually explained some. It actually explained some of the plot holes. And then my problem with this film was that you have a lot of people criticizing stuff that I feel is not important. Is not important with the film. Like, I mean, problems I have with the film are, how does Zod's DNA, how does General Zod, and how does a combination of Luthor and Zod's DNA create the Doomsday character from the comics? A combination of Zod and Luthor's DNA should have been like a Bizarro type character. It should have been look like a combination of them. How does that look like Doomsday from the comic books? These are problems I have. You have people talking about stuff that doesn't make sense, like how they said, oh, Wonder Woman was out of place in the film. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. She was in the film investigating. She was in the film investigating. I think the meta human thesis, investigating the meta human thesis, and saw the battle on the screen. Saw the battle between Doomsday on the screen, and joined the final battle to help set up the Justice League. To help set up the Justice League. People say she had no real purpose in the film. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. And of course, she was there to hold Doomsday while Superman charges at Doomsday with the spear. And a lot of people criticize the death of Superman. This is not the comic books. They borrowed from the comic books, but this is not the death of Superman. This is not the death of Superman comics. Now I understand what people saying, um how they wanted Zack Snyder to earn Superman, but like I said, this is not the death of Superman. You do not need 100 something comics, or multiple films that kill off Superman. To kill off Superman, um, you only needed and people said you only made 2 films with Superman and barely focused on him. The entire Man of Steel film focused on Superman. And since the entire film focused on him, you could bring in Batman, Wonder Woman, and various other characters. You can bring in Batman. You can bring in various other characters. So people said we need to make multiple films. No, you don't. Then look at the how the death and stuff was executed. While it wasn't like the comic books, yeah, we didn't get to see a bloody drag 'em out brawl. We didn't get to see a bloody drag 'em out brawl like we saw in the comic books. But what Superman's death represented here was Superman prior to his death. Superman was seen as a vigilante, and a hero, and Superman Clark Kent made the ultimate sacrifice finally made the ultimate sacrifice and pretty much saved the earth, because no one could stand up to Doomsday. Wonder Woman is tough, but I highly doubt she could stand up to Doomsday in the comic books. She got destroyed just like they did. So I'm pretty sure the same would have happened here. I'm pretty sure if she would have tried to fight him, here, and she had her shield and sword to block multiple hits from Doomsday. I highly doubt that despite her power, she could take a full head-on hit from Doomsday without her sword and shield stuff. I think she would have been killed instantly, just like a human would have. Just like a human would have. So and Batman had no kryptonite weapons left. So had no kryptonite weapons left. Well, this is the end of part 1. I'm gonna do part 2 in a minute. All right. I'm done for now.